The continued investment is paying off.
Looking back on 2025, Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkiw is cautiously optimistic.
And as the year's coming to a close, there's a lot to look at from a safety perspective that has gone in the right direction.
Homicides are down nearly 54% compared to last year. The number of shootings and firearm discharges dropped significantly. Auto thefts are down nearly 27%. Break-and-enter crime declined 11%, although the reduction in crime does follow a notably violent 2024.
We are in the midst of a multi-year hiring plan, which has allowed us to put more police officers into key roles, and that's paying dividends, and we're seeing the results of that, certainly in some of our crime statistics.
The more than 8,200-member police service includes just over 5,500 police officers, and there's a request to hire more. A growing team, Chief Demkiw says, allows them to get to scenes faster. 2 years ago, the average response time for a Priority 1 call was 20 minutes. Today, it's down to 13 and a half.
I would suggest, as a lifelong Torontonian, 13 and a half minutes is not the standard. We have work to do still.
One of his biggest concerns is youth crime.
We are seeing more and more young people involved in very, very violent events. People being apprehended with illegal firearms. The number of youths being apprehended is growing at a very significant rate. We also see the involvement of youth in our murders growing.
A moment that shook the city, the death of 8-year-old Jave Roy, struck by a stray bullet while at home in bed with his mother.
I want to start by saying how much I miss my son.
Since Jave's murder back in August, 3 youths, one who was 15 at the time, have been arrested.
It's hard not to look back at the year and not think of young Jave, 8-year-old child killed by a stray bullet. In those moments, you're the chief, but I'm also a father who raised kids in our city and not very far from that neighborhood.
The chief says it's time for action and collaboration to put a stop to the pattern that starts long before a teen picks up a gun.
A lot of different partners and players in the system, whether it's healthcare, education, social services, families, faith groups, all of these things have had exposure to the life of that person. Are there opportunities to come together differently and disrupt that negative path?
Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Demkiw.
Having taken the helm in 2022 and with his contract renewed for 4 years in September, the 35-year veteran has overseen budgets critics say have ballooned. The Toronto Police Services Board approved a 7% increase in the operating budget next year, bringing the total to $1.43 billion. Council will vote on it in early 2026.
If you look at our budget, it's over 90% people costs, and that's, the nature of policing budgets.
One of the major pressure points the last couple of years and in the wake of the October 7th attack has been a dramatic rise in hate crime, in particular anti-Semitism, prompting additional resources to the hate crime unit while also lobbying for new legislative tools to better deal with the challenges.
I think one of the most important priorities continues to be around building trust, both in our communities we serve and within our organization.
Among the top cops' priorities for the new year is closing the gap between the improving crime data and a public that still feels unsafe. Recent efforts to tackle that sentiment include an expanded neighborhood community officer program and police deployed on transit, as well as in the downtown core.
Do you think the city's safe?
Yes, I do. I think the city is safe. This is a massive city, over 3.2 million people, an incredible world-renowned city that attracts over 27 million visitors a year. And time again, we are recognized for being an incredible city to live, work, play, and visit. And it is an indication of the safety.
A new year ahead with new pressures as Toronto prepares to host the FIFA World Cup and new expectations that increased investment in policing is felt beyond the numbers.